Hey Hot Tots, welcome back to my channel. Ollie and I today are recording a video about how to get started on YouTube, how I got started, anything kind of YouTube related, more with like the rules, regulations, the nitty gritty. So if you're interested in that, keep watching. Okay, so let's get started with the questions. Yes. When did you start YouTube and why? I started YouTube last November, so it's been a year. Why did I do that? So it's been about a year since I started YouTube, and it's been an awesome year, to say the least, for me, in the sense that I'm so glad I had this during this whole pandemic situation to keep me happy, motivated, and connected to you guys. Do you need an expensive camera to vlog, or can you use an iPhone? I use my iPhone. So I use my iPhone 11 to videotape everything. Now, recently, if you follow me on Instagram, which if you don't, you should, I bought the Canon G7X Mark II vlogging camera, and I loved it, but I was trying to record just to like see if it would work or how to work it, and it sounded really muffled and it sounded really weird. Like the speaker wasn't working right, my hand was not over the speaker. I did all of these things that I saw online to do to see if it works correctly. It didn't. So I sent it back and I got my refund. So now I think I'm gonna go over to Best Buy here soon, actually today, and then just get a whole new camera and maybe try it out there at the store, because I really want a vlogging camera so I can use my phone while on my camera, while I'm using my camera. But I will say the wonderful thing about using your iPhone is if you have a MacBook, like a laptop or a Mac computer, you could just airdrop all your stuff over, and it's super simple and easy. And obviously the quality is great, so you don't necessarily need to have it. So when I started out, all I had was my phone. I didn't have a laptop, I didn't have a computer, I only had my phone. So for iPhones, you can download iMovie, which is another question, so I might as well just put it in here. You can download iMovie, which is a free editing software app. iMovie is an app I downloaded on my iPhone, use my iPhone to actually record, and then I use Fonto to do my thumbnails, all of which are free, all of which I still use. The only thing about the editing app on your phone is it doesn't have as many features, obviously, as when you use your computer. So eventually I did invest in a refurbished Mac desktop, which only cost me $326 from Walmart. So check out Walmart. They have a lot of refurbished laptops and computers. So I worked off a desktop for a while, and I just recently bought my MacBook Pro, or my Mac Air, whatever. I recently bought that because I realized like I hated sitting somewhere and not being able to edit, and then with the amount of travel and stuff that I do, or if I go to my family's house or yada yada, it's nice to be able to bring your laptop somewhere so you can edit anywhere. But I edit tons on my phone. So when I know that I'm not gonna be home, or if I'm a lot of times recording throughout the day, I would just put all of those into iMovie on my phone and then edit as I go to make things easier, especially when I do those things like, I don't know, record the day before I post. So you definitely don't need a lot to start. Now, if you have an Android, obviously I don't know like what apps you can use on Android and stuff like that. But you can use your iPhone 11, and then you can use iMovie for free and Fonto for free. And I YouTubed everything. You literally can YouTube how to start a YouTube channel, how to make a thumbnail, how to make an end thing, how to do the end screens, how to do just everything. I YouTubed, and that's how I learned how to do YouTube. And man, I mean, once you get better at it, it's not as hard, but at first I was like, this is daunting. Another question I got was, how do tags work on your YouTube videos, and do I use them? Yes, but honestly, I don't really know how they work. It's basically like if someone's searching in the search bar, that's how your tags help you. So if you had put like what I eat in a day on your header of your video, I put that in my tags. full day of eating, WW, blue plan, green plan, purple plan. Like I try to tag things that I think if people were looking for that, they would want something like my video to watch. I don't know how much they truly help me. You can see that on your YouTube Studio app. So when you sign up for YouTube, you get a YouTube Studio app, which the Studio app shows the background information. Like that's how you upload, that's how you do the description boxes, that's how you see your revenue, your analytics, like who's watching your videos, blah, blah, blah. And on there, it'll tell you how someone found you. So like for this month, like for searching, like how many people found you from just searching like what I eat in a day videos, or WW or Sophia or whatever, and it'll show you the words that worked that more people found. I don't actually look at that, which I should. Like I said, you guys, like I suck. I really need to like help myself more, you know, and like look at that stuff and then add those to my videos. But I don't. But it's smart too if you do. Do you plan on making YouTube your full-time job? Honestly, I would love that. Like that would be my goal. That would be wonderful to do. I definitely wouldn't be able to until I make the amount of money or more, probably more than what I make now from my job plus YouTube plus Beauty Counter to feel content with leaving. So I work a full-time job and I'm a project manager and I make very good money. And I also have great health insurance. I also have a great 401k package and they match everything that I put into it. So all of those things I need to take into consideration before just up and quitting my job and doing YouTube full time, because I would have to pay for my own health insurance. I would have to put my own money in a 401k and no one's matching it, you know? And just with even COVID-19 hitting, my income from YouTube changed dramatically. So it was cut in half. And so it's scary kind of to think that in one swift move, things could happen. Now, granted, COVID-19 was like super rare. That doesn't just happen every year, you know, but I just think that I would want to make a lot more than I'm making now, even to feel comfortable quitting my daytime job. Now, would that be wonderful? Yes, I would love that. How much do you make a month from YouTube only? Or do you make enough to pay bills, or at least some of them? So I make a good amount of money from YouTube, but not enough to live off of. To put in context, I make about a little less than a third of the amount of money I make from my real job. So I make good money and it's nice. Yes, I can pay some bills with it. I could pay my rent with it and like a air conditioning bill. But it is not enough for me to live off of. Now, that may change as things have gotten better and better with COVID-19 and everything. Things have changed. I have been making more money off of YouTube because the ads are paying more and there are more ads getting put on your videos, which we'll get into that later. But I make a ton of money. I think there's this misconception too that people make a ton of money off YouTube and off Instagram and stuff, but really it takes a very long time to make a substantial income. I've only been on YouTube for 1 year, so I don't expect to be like rolling in the dough, even though some people do, you know, but yeah, so I could, to be technical, you know, I live in downtown Columbus. If you want to look up rent prices in downtown Columbus, I could pay my rent and then like my air conditioning bill, like electric bill, with my income from YouTube. Now, during COVID, I could pay half my rent. How do you make money on YouTube? So, here's how you make money on YouTube. First, you have to get monetized. Monetized just means that you have had to have had 4,000 watch hours, which equals 240,000 minutes of people watching your videos. Plus, you have to have at least 1,000 subscribers. This took me about 3 months for me to get 1,000 subscribers and then get 240,000 watch minutes. I actually got the watch minutes before the subscribers, which is rare, but that's what happened for me. Then from there, Google AdSense is who puts the ads onto your videos. So they're the ones who like kind of like review your video and say like what ads would probably do better on here. And then you make money from those ads of how many people watch the ads. Did they click on the ads? Did they watch the ads all the way through? Or did they just skip the ads? Did they, you know, stuff like that. It also depends on your age range that watches your videos and the countries. if US usually watches most of your videos, they like that because the American consumer is like bananas, you know. We like to buy things. Also, the age range. So if you're a younger person and your age range that watches your videos are like 12 to 20 years old, they don't give you as much money because that age range doesn't have money to spend and to buy things. So if your age range is more from like 25, 30 to like 50, 60-year-olds, they like that better because the average consumer who consumes the most things and buys the most things from ads are older people who have money to spend. They make a lot of money off me, I'll tell you that. So there's just a bunch of variables that come into consideration. It's not just all about views. So for example, if you see a video that like went viral and there was 1 million like people watched it, they could have made nothing. If they had just uploaded that video and for the first 6 months no one watched it, they would have put no ads on there or very low paying ads. So I have videos right now that I make 20 cents per 1,000 views on it or less because they just don't put interesting ads on there because they didn't see much interaction on there. And then I have videos that make $140 per 1,000 views. So depending on what ads they put on those videos and at what time, that's when you make the money. Now I could have had 20 cents per 1,000 views on a video and then all of a sudden I'm getting tons of like views on it. So then they will add better ads on that video because they see that people are watching it. So then I could have not made any money for 6 months on it. And then all of a sudden I'm making $140 per 1,000 views on it for a month or two. So just because someone has millions of views doesn't mean anything. Because one, if they don't have 1,000 subscribers and 240,000 watch minutes, they're not even getting monetized. And two, if that video was old or wasn't watched initially, they're not getting much money on it. Now, will they get much money on it like after the AdSense realizes that it's getting popular? Yes, but they could make like nothing off that video. So that's what's super interesting is some people and some YouTubers are making the most money off of a video they did when they first started, like my top 5 Amazon finds or my top 10 Weight Watchers products or something like that, more than they are off their new videos because for some reason those get clicked on more. You can't control the YouTube algorithm, so it'll push out your video to people. That's how you make money too. So actually because I was new and I was pushing out a lot of content, YouTube was circulating my videos more and I was getting followers a lot quicker. And then all of a sudden it came to a stop. I was only making about like 2 new subscribers per video. And I was like, this is so bizarre, you know? And then I looked and I forgot or I didn't know that YouTube looks at the first 2 hours that you push out your video and how much interaction, comments, views, all that stuff happens within those 2 hours. It'll then decide, oh, this video is good. Let's push it out to more people because people obviously love this video. Or, oh, no one's watching it, so we're not gonna push it out to people. So before when I was like posting my videos at like 1 a.m., just because I was like, oh, like midnight, 1 a.m., whatever, I wasn't obviously getting a lot of views or a lot of like interaction at 1 a.m. And so those first 2 hours, YouTube's like, oh, this video sucks, no one cares. So it wasn't pushing it out to other people. It's so interesting, and honestly, you can YouTube all of this information. It is so interesting and bizarre, but it's just how it is. I want to start a YouTube channel, but I'm scared of what people would think. Honestly, I thought this way more about not like people I don't know, but about the people that I went to high school with or like my family and friends. Not that they would like put me down, but that I would feel more embarrassed around them. But honestly, like I got to the point where I was like, screw it. Like, I don't care. If you start a YouTube channel and it doesn't go anywhere and you never get 1,000 subscribers and you never get paid, but you truly enjoy it and it's just something that you like to do to express yourself, to feel good, who cares? Just do it. Like, people will always say and do things to put you down, and people will always try to take something from you, but you don't have to let them, you know? So I was nervous at first, and yeah, sometimes there are still moments where like I want to post stuff on stories and stuff on my Instagram, but I feel like, oh, people I know will think that I think that I'm some cool person or something, you know what I mean? And then I'm like, screw it, I don't care. If you want to do it, just do it. You only live once, and if it fails, it fails. And then if it blasts off, that's amazing, it blasts off, but you only have this one life to do what you want to do. And if you truly want to do it, then just give it a try, you know? Did you do something special to get more viewers? No. I haven't done any like cool videos where it's like in the moment, like for example, when the Peloton first came out, if I would have hopped on that train and hurried and got a Peloton and did a review, I probably would have gotten a ton of views on that video because there are not many reviews out there. And I could have got a ton more subscribers. But I don't usually do that. A, I guess I'm not quick enough to do that. And B, I don't know, I just haven't ever done that before. I just always post it on my social media channels, like my Instagram. I hashtag things, and then, yeah, it's just been pretty organic. I also became friends with some people within the WW community, and when people like you and you like them and it's like a genuine connection, you just kind of promote each other. You know, you say like, oh, this girl's great, you should watch her too. And so that's how I grew. But other people grow faster, and you know, if like a bigger YouTuber like shouts out your name, of course you're probably gonna get more subscribers and views. But I just don't like to do anything not organically. Like, I don't like to push myself or try to be friends with someone because they have YouTube subscribers and I want them to promote me. You know what I mean? So, how many hours do you typically spend a week doing YouTube? Oh my gosh, you guys. I don't know. It's definitely a job, okay? So, everyone's like, oh yeah, YouTube's so cool, so whatever. It's like, yeah, but like today is Saturday, and instead of I'm going out and hanging out with friends or doing whatever, like I'm recording a YouTube video and I'm gonna edit it and upload it, and then I'm gonna go get stuff for another YouTube video that I'm doing and do that. It's like, it is a part-time job. So I would say about 20 to 25 hours a week. And that's including like Instagramming, posting, researching, videotaping, editing. And editing takes me a while because you guys know I like to make it more fun and interactive editing, zooming in, zooming out, cutting a lot of time out because I don't like watching videos where people don't cut out like things. Like, people will leave in their videos someone going like, like, I can't stand when people leave that in their videos. Like, and it's not anything, I don't get mad about it, but like I lose interest and I leave the video. So I usually cut things out or like cut things up to make them more fun. Like that. So yeah, 20-ish hours. On average, how long does it take you to edit a video? It depends. Things like this, like sit down talk videos, take me a hell of a lot longer. And that's just because I do a lot of edits, like I just talked about. What I eat in a day don't take as long, but they do take time because you're having to look up points and calories and like go into the different colors and type it all into the screen and yada yada blah blah and all that stuff. So I would say editing an easy video takes me about 30 to 45 minutes altogether, and then editing a video like this can take me a couple hours. But then again, my editing style is what does that for me. Like, other people, it does not take them that long. I just have a certain editing style. Do you ever get mean comments? Yes. So it's very rare that I get mean comments, but honestly, what's funny is most of them are on videos where they don't pertain to WW. So I trust my WW community a lot. Like, all of you guys and just people who follow me for like the content of food and the content of like that type of stuff are generally nice to me. And if they say anything, it's kind of more of like offhand comments like, I love you, but this was annoying. And you're like, if there's a but, maybe you shouldn't post it, but whatever. But the meaner comments come for my Bumble videos or like my apartment tour. People were like super mean, like, your music is annoying, blah, 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 blah. It's when you get these outsider people who don't genuinely kind of know you yet, I feel like that's when you get the meaner comments. In general, I don't get many mean comments. When I do though, the way that I deal with it is like, I used to kind of get more like pissy about it and like, you know, and now I don't care. I think for me, if someone's mean about like the look of me, I don't care. Now, if it's my personality, that's when I care more because I've always loved and genuinely put more time and effort into like my heart and my personality and how I treat people. That's something that I work on and that I make sure to try to do and be kind and be generous and be, you know, I am adamantly always working on myself, and that's something I really want to be, is like a good person, and that's always been a goal of mine, and I always want to help people and do whatever. So when people say something about my personality or like thinking that I'm coming from a bad place, or like saying that I'm not a nice person, or just doing stuff like that, that hurts me more than like you're fat, you're ugly, you're stupid, you're whatever. Cause I'm like, okay. And I'm also like, that's your opinion. But with my personality, it feels different. It feels like a bigger hit. But a lot of times what I do to get over those is I'll tell my friends, and then they'll be like, oh my God, like they're stupid. Like if they even knew you, like, you know, and then you just kind of feel better about it. But that is something someone asked too, is, you know, how do you get over the mean comments? I'm like, scared. You just have to like take them with a grain of salt and go. Like, I'm a very empathetic person, and I don't like people to be upset with me, and I don't like people to be mad at me or to think that I said something mean, because that means it was unintentional, because I never intentionally say mean things to people. So that's hard for me, because I just want people to understand that like, no, that's not what I meant at all. Like, how can I explain this better? But you just have to kind of like give into it and say, okay. And a lot of times I just delete the comments. I don't even respond to it anymore, because I just don't feel like it's worth it. And then they already have this opinion of you. Odds are you're not going to change it. You know what I mean? So how long did it take you to make money on YouTube? Like I said, about 3 months is when it started. And I only started off making like $50, like $100 or $200 or something per month. And it's just steadily increased. So it took me about 3 months to even start getting ads. Any downsides to having YouTube? Yeah. So one, dating for one. If they Google you or find out that you have a YouTube channel, they like watch you and they just assume that they know you from your channel. And they could have caught you at a time when you're like being super silly, super stupid, like super whatever. And yeah, it's been weird. I'm not a very technologically savvy person, and I never really was like super on Instagram, Facebook, and all of that. So I will say like that part of it too, like drains me, because I can go days without looking at social media if I didn't have this job, you know? So I would just say like feeling like I have to kind of stay involved and connected sometimes is a stressor. Also, I would say my followers and my viewers are the nicest, kindest, like most genuinely good-hearted people. I mean, I have very few that like freak me out, or very few that are like mean or like come from a weird place. Like, I think with such positive intentions towards you guys in your comments, because if you comment a lot and there's a comment, I'm like, and I'm like, well, no, she's always so nice. Like, that's not how she meant it. But I will say with other influencers, things can get weird, and I don't like that part of it. Because one of them was like, how do you stay out of the YouTube drama with WW people? I kind of just keep to myself, but then I only have like a small group of people that I even speak to, of other influencers. So in the beginning, what's really sad is in the beginning, tons of influencers are like, oh my gosh, Sophie, we love you. Oh, Sophie, you're so funny. You're so whatever, when I was smaller. And then as I've grown, like they don't talk to me anymore. They don't reach out to me anymore. And I feel like it became like a competitive type of feeling for them, maybe, because for me, like I said, this isn't my full-time job. And if this never becomes a full-time job, that's okay with me. I feel like other people, this is their full-time job. This is their full income. And so then people have gotten competitive or felt certain ways. And then out of that comes people not being nice. And not that anyone's not nice to me. It's just been, oh, Sophie, all these people talking to me, wanting to talk to me, and wanting to like, oh, let's collab, let's talk, let's chat, let's whatever, and DM me, to now I only have 2 people I speak to ever, or 3 people I would say, that I speak to ever from the WW community that are also influencers, because others have unfollowed me and I don't know why. Like, we don't have a conversation, nothing bad happened, or others don't speak to me anymore like they used to, or interact with me anymore. So that's the thing that's weird, is I feel like there is definitely a heightened amount of intentional and unintentional competitiveness. I don't know. It's just weird, and that used to hurt my feelings. But now I have these 3 girls that I talk to the most. That's enough for me, and they're my core go-tos, and I trust them, and I trust that what I say stays with them, and I trust that they know that my intentions are good and positive, and that we just have like a very open and good communicative relationship. But yeah, I would say that's a downside too. Like, I don't like that because I'm not that way. Like, if someone else is doing great, I'm like, that is awesome, that is great. Like, I feel so happy for them, you know, and that's not the way with everybody else. And some people just, you know, obviously like, they're like, hey, I just want to say hi, and then they like go out, and that's fine. Like, some people, it's not like a bad energy feeling. It's just like, you know, you say hi, you randomly talk a little bit here and there, and it's fine. But other people, it's like, you know, that they feel a weird way because you hear it through the grapevine or this. It's just drama. So I just try to stay out of it. I talk with my people that I like to talk with, and I try to stay as positive and calm, cool, and collected as I can. And I don't give in to the peer pressure of if everyone is doing this or posting this or doing that. Like, that does not mean I have to. And yeah, long-winded. What happens if you don't use copyright-free music? You get a copyright strike, and you have to take down your video and change the music. That happened to me one time. I didn't get a strike, but it like warned me because I was at my dad's and he was playing like Van Halen, and then I had it for longer than like 10 seconds, like videotaping like around. And so it said, hey, we heard this song on there. Someone noticed it. And this was even before I posted it. So they definitely start looking at your videos even before you post if you just upload them. And so I had to take it down, change the music, like put a actual music background in it and put it back up. So you have to have copyright-free music because people's music is owned by them. And so if you put more than 10 seconds, I believe it is, or something like that, on your video, you can get a copyright strike, which eventually would mean if you get so many copyright strikes, I think it's 3 strikes, you're out. So then they stop monetizing your videos. Or for that certain video, they'll just completely take off your ads and you will not be monetized for that video because it has music on it. So yeah, there's a lot of copyright-free music out there, but I don't put a ton of music on my videos. I need to. It's literally out of laziness, you guys. Like trying to find it, then download it, then upload it, then da-da-da. And you have to put it, some things you have to put into the description box. Like, they'll let you use their music, but you have to do like a call out or something, and then whatever. It's a lot. So a lot of times I don't put music in, which I love music, so that's what stinks. But I don't put it in because it just takes more time. Last question I'm going to answer is, how'd you get comfortable in front of the camera? Honestly, I've always been kind of comfortable. I've always just been myself. I can't not be myself. So that's what's kind of funny, is it's not like I'm great in front of the camera. It's like I, in front of anyone, act the same. I can't change who I am. Like, even in front of VPs and stuff, like I might just like hold back a little of what I say, but I'm still who I am. I talk the way I talk. I dress the way I dress. I walk the way I walk. I just can't not be that way. Now, in some of my earlier videos, I do see myself kind of being like, I would see a video, I think, and see how they're like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And so I was like, kind of like copying them in a sense. Cause you know, like human nature is like, if you just watch someone be a certain way, you then do it. Like, I know a lot of you go like me, or like, hey, it's like, it's human nature to mimic. So I do see in some of my earlier videos, I was like, in like a moment of my video, and I'm like, sister, what's going on there? You don't do that. So anyways, that's the end of this video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't, because it really helps support my channel. I post every Monday and Thursday, and sometimes on a random other day. I'm burning up and I gotta go. Love ya.